Sometimes you get dinged in the tears.
Take that, Kevin Wild.
Here come the Chiefs.
Take
Here come
that,
the Chiefs.
Kevin Wild.
14.
All right.
Here come the Chiefs.
We'll get to the tears from Nick in just a second, but first the tears from the Lakers after what we saw last night. TEAR, Lakers, Warriors, first game of the season, advantage, Golden State. Steph Curry triple-doubled as the Warriors shocked LA, came back from down 10 in the second half to get that win. That despite a combined 67 points from LeBron and AD. So you want to know, how did Russell Westbrook do in his debut for the Lakers? Not great. Russ struggling to fit in last night, just 8 points on 4 of 13. LeBron, though, not worried about his new running mate. Take a listen to this.
I just think it was just the first game jitters, to be honest. Don't put too much into it. You know, it just probably was a lot just going through his mind, just being a kid from LA and, you know, watching the Lakers growing up, and then, you know, however many years down the road, now you're putting on a Laker uniform and you're stepping into Staples Center, and you probably had, I can only imagine how many friends and family have contacted him over the last 48 hours wondering if they can come and see his first game as a Laker. You know, so, you know, those things, those demands and those asks and those things will quiet down as the season go on and on. So not worried about Russ at all. You know, he just need to be himself and not worry about the outcome.
All right, Chris Broussard, LeBron not worried about Russ. Is he right, though, not to be concerned at all?
Well, his approach is certainly right. If Russell Westbrook watches that clip or that press conference with LeBron, he's going to be encouraged. That's what you want to see from your best player, the leader of the team who's welcoming you aboard. So, and LeBron, on top of that, knows as well as anyone, having played in Miami with Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh, and having played in Cleveland with Kyrie Irving and Kevin Love, that big threes take a while typically to come together. In both of those situations, Miami and Cleveland, they struggled for several weeks before they got it going. So LeBron understands this. He's been through this before. All that said, this is not going to be a big three where all three guys put up star numbers. All right, they're not all three going to average 20 points or more per game. I think Russell Westbrook's numbers are going to be far lower than we've come to expect from him. I'm talking 16, 17, about 17 points a game. All right, because they need to play through AD and LeBron. Now, LeBron just said it. Frank Vogel said it too. They want Russ to be Russ, right? Just go out there and play your game, be aggressive, all that. The problem is Russell Westbrook's game is him having the ball and everybody else playing off of him, and that's not best for the Lakers. What's best for the Lakers is to run through LeBron James and Anthony Davis and everyone else, including Russell Westbrook, to play off of them. All right, that's how they have to play. So I think they're going to have to start staggering LeBron and Russ's minutes to some degree. Give Russ that second unit, all right, where that's when he can be Russ and play like he's always played. And then even when he's out there with LeBron, he can push it in transition and have the ball in his hands and try to get some early offense. But when they're in the half-court sets, LeBron, as you saw last night, is going to be the primary ball handler and decision maker, and that's what's best for them. That's going to be tough for Russ because he's had the ball in his hands for 12 years, and this is how he's always played the game, and he can't shoot. It's tough to play off the ball when you can't really shoot jump shots. And so that's an issue, Nick. But the bottom line is Russ is going to have to accept being the third fiddle. Doesn't mean he won't be a star. His legacy's set. I firmly expect, as I imagine you do, within the next 2 days, he's going to be named on the All-75 team. 75 greatest players of all time. So his legacy's set, right? But he's going to be the third fiddle here, and he can't, when it's his time to shine, he can't force it just to put up numbers or feel like he's contributing.
Yep. So I think I'm going to surprise the audience here because I've always had I'm not concerned, very steady hand when it comes to LeBron's Lakers teams post the Anthony Davis trade. But what I saw last night was incredibly concerning, and it has very little to do with Russell Westbrook. It has to do with how the Lakers are trying to play. And I understand Ellington and Ariza and THT and Nunn were out. I get that. However, there is a rule of thumb with LeBron James teams. If he is the best three-point shooter on the court, you have not done a good job building the team around him. And in their starting lineup last night, he was the best three-point shooter. LeBron scored more points than anyone in the NBA yesterday, scored 34. That should have been a 45-point game. Why? Because he hit 12 jump shots. He hit 5 threes. When LeBron's jumper is falling, those are 40-point games. So why wasn't it? Show me a shot chart. Show me what LeBron James did. He made one basket at the rim, and it was a transition dunk. So he never got to the rim successfully in the half court. Why? Well, you have DeAndre Jordan out there. You have Dwight Howard out there. You have Russ out there. And that, to me, was the bigger concern. I thought last night's game wilds for the Lakers was bad in all aspects. They allowed the Warriors to score 121 when Steph didn't play well. They lost despite LeBron and AD combining for over 65 points. And I understand what they're trying to do, be big, strong, long, defensive. But letting the Warriors score 121 means that with Steph not getting on fire, far from it, 5 for 21, means the defense has a long way to go. So this is the final point on it. I agree with Broussard about Russ running the second unit. But where was he? Remember when he went to Houston, what did they do? They traded Clint Capella away. Why? Spread the court for Russ.
Right.
The Lakers, LeBron is best without a center on the court. Russ is best without a center on the court. And the Lakers are out here adding centers, bringing in DeAndre Jordan for no reason whatsoever. So I believe in the Lakers because come playoff time, I believe in LeBron. However, the roster they have right now is going to struggle mightily these first couple months of the season, I believe.
My goodness gracious, still my beating heart. We've gone through some trials and tribulations, my friend, but you have never said that you were worried about the Lakers. So this one is a total curveball, and we're going to switch roles here. Because I am not worried about the Lakers. I don't think LeBron is worried about the Lakers. I don't think Frank Vogel is worried about it. They know the team that they have. They know they've got some centers. They know how Russell Westbrook plays. I think LeBron figures it out, and here's why. LeBron has got the same mindset as my local hardware store manager. You guys might be worried about the right now. I need a screw. I got grubs in my yard. Russell Westbrook can't shoot threes. You know what they're worried about? Christmas time. They're worried about Christmas. I give LeBron all of these games, and he says, you know what? By Christmas, we should have this figured out. Maybe it means adding guys. Maybe it means changing rotations. Maybe it means changing a style of play. We saw DeAndre Jordan going from he needs to start to DNPs in Brooklyn. I could see it going this way again. And here's the other thing, Nick. At the end of the game, it wasn't necessarily out of hand, but it wasn't necessarily close. It was kind of in that middle range. I looked down, and I had to adjust my glasses. I said, hold on, old buddy KW, got to look at the screen. Is that Avery Bradley back on the court? I thought he was on the Warriors. He was 2 days ago when they played in the preseason. The Lakers did a tribute video for him. All of a sudden, he's logging kind of crunch time minutes. He had 8 points, 8 minutes, 6 points. So that, to me, is a sign that LeBron and Frank Vogel are just figuring things out, and there's no need to worry until Christmas. Yeah. Nick, I am shocked that you were worried because you knew this was the roster going in, minus Avery Bradley.
I knew it was the roster going in. What I thought was going to be the case, Broussard, was I knew they wouldn't have shooting. I thought they would try to offset that with great defense. And letting the Warriors, with Clay in street clothes, and Steph having what will, at the end of the season, be one of his 5 worst shooting games of the whole year, score 121 it's not a flashing red light, beep in your smoke detector. It's like, okay, that could be concerning at some point. Should probably get that checked out. So listen, I believe in the Lakers because I believe in LeBron and Anthony Davis, assuming he learns how to shoot free throws again. They're going to have 2 of the best players in the whole league at all times. But They got some work to do between now and Christmas and between now and the end of the season. That's for damn sure.
All right, Nick, look, we all know you're with Clutch, so you're obligated to pick the Lakers. But I think Wiles and I both would admit, you don't sound like you believe in the Lakers, my man.